Here with the biggest stepper, Khalil Coe. What's good with you?
What's up, buddy?
Yeah. All right, you coming off of, it's a bunch of expletives. Dominant, impeccable, impressive performance. What was that, 6th round stoppage? 5th round?
It's really the 5th, but they saying it's 1 second into the 6th round, so we're going to say the 6th round.
Stoppage in your rematch. How you feeling about the performance?
I feel good. You know, I feel like I got my point across. There was a lot of people that didn't believe me leading up to this fight. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I feel like I said, I feel like I got my point across. You know, and I'm just looking forward to the next one now. You know what I mean?
You said people didn't believe you. You felt like people thought you were making excuses.
Yeah, they a lot of people didn't believe me. They thought my conditioning was bad, or I wasn't training. I was reading a lot of stuff that said I was out partying and drinking. People just be coming up with a bunch of different narratives of why the fight went the way it went. You know what I mean? But the second fight, yeah, they seen what happened. Now everybody's, oh yeah, he wasn't lying. He was telling the truth. So.
What happened in the first fight? Like what happened in camp? You said you were hospitalized. What was the whole process with that?
Yeah, I was training. You know, I was overworking. Well, like cutting too much weight. You know, trying to cut too much weight, overworking myself, not resting. And I wound up in the hospital twice, not once but twice. You know, overnight I had a kidney infection. My muscles was breaking down. All kind of things, but I kept working. You know what I mean? I thought I was gonna be okay in the fight, and after a couple rounds, I started to feel it. You know what I mean? I started to feel the difference, and I gave it my all. You know, I didn't give up, but we saw what happened.
First 6 rounds looked good, winning the fight comfortably. Then you start to become visibly tired, and then you end up being stuck.
I broke my hand in that fight.
I didn't know.
I broke my hand either like the first or second round. I broke my hand in that fight as well.
So you take the rematch in his hometown. You go to Mexico. A lot of people were against that. A lot of people were like, "Yo, just take the loss and just move on." And you got your lick back in emphatic fashion. Overall, what was your mindset heading into that fight?
Just revenge, man. You know, it's like, and he like the fight week. He's like, oh yeah, he's making excuses. In my head, I was, well, I'm beating your ass. I'm gonna beat your ass on Friday. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't me. I'm just listening to him. He feels as though he overwhelmed me the first fight, and that's what got the job done. You know what I mean? You see the second fight, he tried the same thing. He tried it. Excuse me, but he couldn't catch me. He couldn't do what he wanted to do. You know, I was 100%. He was backing up. He was the one backing up. You know, off a jab. Had they not stopped it, they would have been picking him up.
Yeah, yo, you're like an enigma, right? Because everybody, as soon as you start your career, you build that as this huge puncher, right? But people kind of forget amateur pedigree that you're a boxer, and it's like you kind of like whip that out your tool belt, pause, in that particular fight.
Yeah, I've been looking, like if you watch some of my interviews, I've been waiting for a person or opponent where I could like showcase a different part of me, you know what I mean? Like a lot of guys, I'm walking to them, you know, I like to be able to box and show my elusiveness, my skill, my slickness. I like to do that, I like to have fun. That's the fun part of boxing, you know what I mean? To hit and not get hit, to be able to do it cleanly like that, that's what boxing is about. You know what I mean? Pick and choose when you want to fight, when you want to step to him, or you want to or beat him from the outside.
All right, with that performance, you kind of erased all doubt. People are looking for another step up from you. What makes sense?
There was me personally. I have like a personal, what you call target. You know what I mean? I really wanna meet up with Diego Pacheco because he was speaking on me, you know, after the last fight, and that's really what I want. But we'll see what makes sense with the team. But I really want to slap him around a little bit and get the message across to him.
I can see that happening in the future because he's at 68, but he's a real big 68.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How does that fight go?
Stop it, absolutely. He's not. I don't feel as though he don't got nothing for me, man. Honestly, it's not punching. You gotta have some power for me, or I'm coming to get you. You know what I mean? You had a problem with Gallegos. You know what I mean? You caught a lucky shot to the body, but other than that, he was on your ass the whole fight. You know what I mean? But it ain't gonna be nothing like when I catch you. Nothing.
Did you watch the Steven Nelson fight?
Yeah, I watched the Steven Nelson fight.
Did you
You gotta
see-
realize Steven Nelson is a little older now. You know, he's been around for a long time, and you know what I mean. He gave it his all. But, you know, I'm different, man. I'm different.
You saw some things you could capitalize on, some success that
I saw
Steven
a
Nelson.
lot of things. So, and it's crazy because I actually kind of like Diego. You know what I mean? I like Diego as a fighter. You know, he's talented. You know what I mean? But it's levels to this. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna show you that you gotta watch your mouth when you speak on people.
When do you see yourself in world title contention?
I say maybe in a year or so. Within a year, or depends on the next few fights and how they go and how I perform. It might be sooner.